Hey, you're in the Moshpit on Sin, and joining me over Skype is the lead singer of the legendary Sepultura, Mr. Derrick Green. How are you, sir?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. Sepultura's Australian tour starts in less than a month, and it's been over a decade since you've been down here. Are you as excited as we are?
No, definitely. I mean, it's actually way too long since we've been there, unfortunately. It's a place that we've always loved coming to, and we have a special set list prepared just because it has been so long. There's so many albums that we weren't able to play there, so this is, it's exciting.
That's awesome. Both this tour and your last tour from way back in 2003, they were just a handful of dates. Is there anything outside of the shows that you or the band are keen to do or see during a short time here?
There wasn't really that much time, unfortunately. I just remember that it was just super quick, a lot of promotional type stuff that we had to do. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, we usually have shows before, as far as tours before coming down there and stuff happening after. But this time I plan on staying a week extra after the tour.
Oh, awesome. Exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And as a band that has existed for 30 years now, you've had quite a few lineup changes, even in just the past decade. How much have the changes affected you or the band, both creatively or personally?
Well, definitely creatively. I mean, we had to really pull together and stay focused on the music and the fact that there were so many different changes. So I think in a lot of ways it's really helped us evolve. We've been fortunate enough to have incredible people that were artists that we played with, and so this helps a lot. So we've been able to create, quality albums, and actually been evolving. But we're at a point now in a very good phase where we're very strong and very well connected, and along with a label that's behind us, which helps tremendously, and I think it's gone in a way where it's helped us to stay focused, like I said, with the music, and which is the most important thing, mm-hmm. and try to forget all the drama that does happen around, in this scene, in a lot of different scenes, but really just stay focused on what's important, what we love to do.
Mm-hmm. Cool. But following on from that, how do you sort of keep a balance or like a connection between the music from when the band began to what the band is today? Because in some ways they're very, very different bands.
Mm-hmm. No, extremely. I mean, certainly a different band, extremely at different times. I think that's the biggest difference is definitely, with time, music and everything is changing. The music scene, but people are changing. I mean, the band has 30 years, so I would think as an artist it would be a failure to be exactly the same after 30 years and not have any change. I think it would be, you wouldn't be an artist. An artist is about, being an artist is about evolving and having change and expressing that. So I think it's been an incredible road that Sepultura's had, and I think it's very unique and very special.
Yeah. You've been touring off the back of your most recent release, which is titled "The Mediator Between Head and Hands Must Be the Heart," and you worked with Ross Robinson on that album. He was a massive name when nu metal was at its peak popularity. What brought him back into the world of Sepultura?
I think just the fact that his passion, he's a great producer. He's worked on so many incredible works of art. And but I think primarily just Ross's his personality, was something that we really needed, and his ability to understand the band and to know where they're coming from, having been there already with the band and wanting to do even more, like his anticipation for wanting to work with us was, over 100%, and he was able to really bring what he does, his ability to bring out the truth in what you're doing, and uniting the group together and keeping it together as a unit in the studio, and bringing out that passion in the recording studio. So I think for us it was like an honor, again, I mean, for those guys again to work with them, and also it was a mutual feeling that we wanted to work with each other.
Also, like, there's been a lot of great reviews of the recent album, sort of saying that it's much more straightforward, much more to the point, very strong, very heavy. With that sort of in mind, last year, what happened is last year you started an electronic music side project with Sam Spiegel called Maximum Headroom. That would be Maximum Headroom, yeah?
Yeah, that's correct.
And that's way less heavy than Sepultura. Does having that positive creative outlet allow you to go into darker territory for Sepultura?
I think it helped. I mean, I was doing Maximum Headroom at the same time as Sepultura, as far as even the recording. I was playing shows, but yeah, the extremes, I think they helped me. I mean, I've always get asked to do metal project with other bands, and for me it's not so interesting because I'm already doing this style of music. And I sing as well, so I want to, for me it's more important to really show a different side of what I like to do, and so with Sam, it was great, just because he has so many eclectic ideas, and it's something that I'm not so familiar with, but I am, just growing up with hearing a lot of pop and even working at clubs, as far as having an understanding of electronic music and certain hip hop stuff that I like, and but it's great being able to do something completely the opposite. And I think with those extremes, it helps in both ways, where I want to do the total extreme of heavy music, and I think on this last album was very sinister and dark, but at the same time I really believe that Maximum Headroom helped, just because I had those complete polar opposites going on.
Yeah. How did Maximum Headroom? How did that project even come about? Were you approached, or were you looking for something to do?
I knew Sam through different friends, and he was always coming to Brazil because he had his project, which is called NASA. And I always thought that project was interesting because he was combining all these different artists together that you would never imagine, and producing music with them. And he'd been working on it for years and traveling the world, collecting this music. And I was fascinated, and I was like, man, this is perfect. I think, his ideas and thoughts, I think would be great, to try something now, where singing and something original. And so I talked with him, and I told him, I was like, hey, let's try something if you have anything or any ideas. And he had Maximum Headroom, the idea of doing it in some songs, but we ended up just hooking up down here in Brazil and going to the studio and just working on a song just from scratch. And it worked out really well. And then he just showed me some other stuff that he had, and then we just kept going with it.
Yeah, and it's become something very, very different.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think the more different it became, and more just freakish and crazy, the better it was becoming. And so we're still like learning a lot about it. I mean, it's all so different for us as well, and I think that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah, and I suppose that means that allows you to sort of would that bring a comfort level with going back to the heavier side? You know more about yourself that way, or?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I feel like going into the studio and even performing and everything, it adds to a whole different level of confidence. I feel, just being able to do certain levels of music and feeling good about it. So I think it helps.
I've also read in a couple of interviews here and there that you were working, or you've been working, on a photography book as well, or a series of photography books. Is there any?
Right.
Yeah. Is there any chance you'll be taking photos while you're touring here and while you're taking that week off here next month?
Yeah, absolutely. This was one of the most exciting things about coming. Second, the most exciting things besides playing.
Yeah.
But I never really had the chance. The first time I went, I wasn't. I think I definitely my love for photography has grown since I've been there. So this is something I really wanted to have a part of the book. Australia, such a visual and incredibly beautiful place, and New Zealand as well. And I wanted to have both of them a part of this book. Because I'm still in the process of picking which photos should be there, but I'm looking forward to taking a lot of photos and having a week off there. I hope to take an incredible amount.
Yeah, cool. So you've got the Australian shows happening very soon, but after this tour, what's in the pipeline for yourself and the band? What's next?
Then we'll do some special shows in Brazil. Well, first we'll do some shows in South America and different places, and then we're setting up some special 30-year anniversary type shows with having certain people who are a part of the Sepultura history, certain guests come on and do and jam with us.
Yeah.
And so we're still putting that together, but primarily just do a lot of shows in South America after Australia and New Zealand.
Cool. Well, you can catch Sepultura here in Melbourne on October the 3rd at 170 Russell in the city, or October 4th in Brisbane, or the 6th in Sydney. All of the meet and greet tickets are gone for both Sydney and Melbourne, so get in quick before the rest are gone. Once again, Mr. Derrick Green of Sepultura, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
Thank you for having me. Thanks a lot, Dominic.
There's no problem.